Keanu Reeves is one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Known as the humble, anti-celebrity, Reeves has built a reputation for being kind, grounded, and almost otherworldly in his presence. From The Matrix to John Wick, he has become a symbol of resilience, reinvention, and authenticity. But behind the wholesome internet memes and the action hero legend lies a much darker, more mysterious story. A story that Keanu himself once revealed, his chilling encounter with a ghost during his childhood. It's an experience that still unsettles fans to this day, not just because it happened to Keanu, but because of the eerie details he shared. This is the story of the ghost of Keanu Reeves' childhood, the creepiest story the actor has ever told. To understand the impact of his ghost story, you need to know who Keanu Reeves was as a child. Born in Beirut, Lebanon, in 1964 to an English mother and a Hawaiian Chinese father, Keanu's life was marked early on by instability. His father abandoned the family when Keanu was just 3 years old. His mother moved frequently, working as a costume designer, which meant Keanu grew up in a whirlwind of new schools, stepfathers, and ever-changing environments. This rootless childhood left him often lonely and searching for connection. And with loneliness comes vulnerability, the kind of openness that makes paranormal encounters not only possible, but more likely to leave a mark. It was during one of these restless childhood years that Keanu experienced something he would never forget. The year was the early 1970s. Keanu was around 6 or 7 years old, living in a high-rise apartment in New York City with his mother and sister. One night, as Keanu recalled in an interview years later, he was sitting in his bedroom when something strange caught his attention. At first, it seemed like a trick of the light, a floating white figure gliding silently across the room. But as the seconds passed, the figure became clearer. Keanu described it as a headless man in a white double-breasted suit. There was no face, no head at all, just the torso, arms, and legs of a man, perfectly formed, gliding without sound or weight through the air. Young Keanu froze in terror. His sister, sitting beside him, also saw it. Together, they stared in disbelief as the headless apparition moved past them and disappeared into thin air. It was real. They both knew it. They both saw it. Imagine being a child, already dealing with loss, loneliness, and the chaos of constant moves, and then seeing something like that. Keanu later admitted that the encounter was both terrifying and confusing. He didn't understand what he had seen, but because his sister had witnessed it too, he knew it wasn't a dream or a figment of his imagination. For years afterward, Keanu rarely spoke about it. But when he did, the story always remained consistent. The headless ghost in the suit was as real to him as anything else in his childhood. Many celebrities claim to have had paranormal encounters. But Keanu's ghost story resonates because of who he is. He isn't someone prone to exaggeration or seeking shock value. Keanu Reeves is famously private, soft-spoken, and careful with his words. When he chooses to share something, it carries weight. The fact that Keanu openly admitted to such a bizarre and unsettling childhood experience makes it all the more believable. Fans who have followed his life story know how grounded he is, how little interest he has in the supernatural spotlight. So when Keanu says he saw a ghost, people listen. What's even more chilling about Keanu's story is the symbolism of the ghost he saw. In many cultures, the image of a headless man represents loss, disconnection, or unfinished business. It is often interpreted as a soul that has not found peace, a spirit wandering without identity or closure. For Keanu, who grew up with the pain of abandonment by his father, the headless man could have been a haunting reflection of his own fractured family. Some paranormal researchers even believe that children who have experienced trauma are more likely to see spirits, because they are more open to energies beyond the physical world. Was this ghost a random haunting, or was it drawn to Keanu because of the emotional weight he carried as a child? The ghost story also fits into the larger narrative of Keanu Reeves' life. His existence has been marked by tragedy and mystery. The stillbirth of his daughter in 1999, the death of his partner Jennifer Syme in 2001, the loss of his best friend River Phoenix in 1993. These repeated brushes with mortality have made Keanu unusually comfortable talking about life, death, and what may lie beyond. Fans often describe Keanu as someone who seems touched by something deeper, as though he carries an awareness of life's fragility that most people avoid. His ghost encounter as a child may have been the first glimpse into this lifelong connection to mortality and the unknown. When Keanu shared this story in interviews, fans were captivated. The image of a young Keanu staring in horror at a headless man in a suit became one of the most retold ghost stories in celebrity culture. Fans online debated what it meant. Was it a real spirit haunting his apartment? Was it a metaphor for the loss and absence that defined his youth? Or was it simply a chilling coincidence that now feels more significant because of Keanu's tragic life? Regardless of the explanation, the story stuck. It became part of Keanu's legend, not just as an actor, but as a human being who has lived on the edge of the mysterious. Over time, Keanu's ghost story has taken on a life of its own. Paranormal forums dissect the details, while fan-made illustrations of the headless man in the white suit circulate online. It has even influenced how people see Keanu's roles. In The Matrix, when Neo confronts the illusion of reality, fans can't help but wonder if Keanu's own brush with the supernatural made him the perfect fit. In John Wick, his quiet stoicism and understanding of loss seem almost ghostly themselves. It's as if the child who once saw a ghost grew up to play characters who walk between worlds, the living and the dead, the real and the unreal. The story of the ghost from Keanu Reeves' childhood isn't just a creepy tale. It's a window into the life of a man who has become a legend. It reminds us that even the most grounded, humble, and seemingly invincible stars carry with them strange experiences that shape who they are. For Keanu, the memory of the headless man in the white suit has never faded. And maybe it never will. Was it a restless spirit trapped in the building? A warning from beyond? Or simply the imagination of a sensitive child trying to make sense of a chaotic world? We may never know. But one thing is certain. That night in his childhood bedroom left a mark on Keanu Reeves forever. And it gave the world one of the eeriest ghost stories ever told by a Hollywood star. Because sometimes the scariest hauntings don't happen in gothic mansions or on cursed movie sets. Sometimes they happen to children in ordinary rooms. When the lights go out and the shadows come alive.